Hi, you watched the premiere of Extant and you probably have some questions.
I'm the creator, Mickey Fisher.
And I'm the showrunner, executive producer, along with Mickey, Greg Walker.
The ISEA in our world, it stands for the International Space Exploration Agency, and we started off thinking about a world in our story where space exploration had been privatized. You know, NASA wouldn't necessarily exist. We would be in the world where people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and those guys, Richard Branson, that they were starting to, they started all these other companies and become so successful, and then eventually started venturing out into space.
And so we have a world where the ISEA has sent a series of missions up into space. One of them has Molly Woods going up for a 13-month solo scientific mission. Molly's mystery, what happened to Molly in space in the episode you saw, will be very much linked to a plan they have, a kind of secret plan at the ISEA that over the course of the season, you'll understand it through Molly's own investigation into what happened up in space and how maybe it's happened before. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Marcus is a guy who was very important in Molly's life. He was kind of the first great love of her life. They met in the ISEA Ascendance Training Program, a program for gifted young astronauts who were on their way up in the program. Fell in love, had a relationship, and unfortunately he passed away early on.
And one of the series' central mysteries is, how did Marcus appear on the spaceship? How does a dead person come back to life? Is it a figment of her imagination? Is it an actual zombie in space coming back to life, or is it a deeper mystery that Molly will have to solve over the course of the episodes? And all three of those are possible, and at different times look like the final explanation.
What we're imagining is that we're in a world that's 20 to 30 years in the future. But what we didn't want to do is we didn't want to put a specific date on it and anchor ourselves to something that could be looked at and sort of pulled apart. We really wanted to just sort of set up the world, think about logically where we may be in terms of technology and space exploration, make a little bit of a fictional leap. But we really kind of wanted to just boil it down to the characters.
We know that, you know, we have a lot of gadgets and technology in the show, but we go for knowing we're going to be wrong. So rather than getting in a guessing game and putting our emphasis and time on that, we, like Mickey said, wanted to focus on the characters. But we do think the future is going to be cool. We do think that some of the stuff, that the gadgets and cool stuff that we show on the further episodes, we hope exist, because most of the kind of general rule we had for technology in our show is we would want to play with it. Yeah. We would want to have it in our lives.
Well, first of all, we should point out that no birds were actually harmed in the making of this pilot. But you know, the whole point of humanics, the whole idea with them is that you want to give them the human experience. But John says in the pilot, they're not programmed by ones and zeros. You know, you can't just type in and make the perfect kid. You have to give them the human experience. You have to teach them right from wrong the same way that a kid learns. And so the bird is kind of a moment where you see Ethan. You're not sure if he did or didn't, and it's sort of a prism to look at, like, is this kid going down the wrong path? What's
interesting about Ethan's character is that Ethan is going to be molded by human experience. It's an artificial intelligence trying to take in human emotions, human experience, and processing them. And it can be very confusing, as it is for adults and kids to process human emotion. It would be for a machine too. And sometimes you're going to get aberrant outcomes that aren't predictable. So I think that the whole big stew that is Ethan allows for actions that aren't great and actions that are great. And that's really this tension and struggle about the artificial intelligence trying to deal with the kind of crazy roller coaster ride of human emotion seems to be where we're trafficking that idea all the way through. For Molly, for our hero, for Halle Berry's character, whatever is inside her is half her and half something else, right? And that is really interesting for us. What is that thing going to be? What's it going to look like? Is it going to go full term? Is she going to be pushing it around a stroller at a park? Is this thing, what does it want? Why did it find her? Why did it choose her? All those questions are questions we wrestled with, and that we hopefully provide answers that you find as exciting as we do. So you'll probably have more questions, and we encourage you to tune in on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock to watch more of CBS's Extant.
We hope you enjoy the show.